So I wake up after my only drunken night in Vegas. You know who's in the bed next to me? Taylor Swift. Oh, you're here. Didn't mean for you to hear that one. But it's a new week. It's Monday, and so that means it's my turn on the awesome list. This week we're talking about the debate between ink and paint animation versus computer animation. Yes, we talked about nostalgic TV shows, and that was talked a lot about cartoons. That's not gonna be mentioned here. We're talking like the old classic animation. You know, the Cinderella, the Lion King. You know, those type of classic movies. Even Looney Tunes, you know, are from the classic age of animation versus this new Pixar, DreamWorks, computer animated, no imperfections stuff. As you can see, I'm kind of sided towards the classic thing. I'm an animation connoisseur, and I just have to say, ink and paint animation has more character than anything else. You know, you can see there's little imperfections in it because it's all done by hand. I mean, I will admit, computer animation is very tough to do. But at the same time, it's just, I feel more care goes into the animation of ink and paint because it's frame by frame by frame. And yes, they have to keyframes in computer animation, but it's all done in a computer. There's no, I feel it's a less personal touch with, instead of like a keyboard and mouse, as opposed to, you know, the character you get from a pencil. Now, recently, Disney came out with Princess and the Frog, which was their first ink and paint animation movie since 2003's Home on the Range, which was a half and half movie. There was some computer animation, some ink and paint animation, but that was the last Disney movie to use ink and paint animation. After that, shortly after that movie was released, they closed the doors on their ink and paint animation and fired all 1,000 and some odd ink and paint employees, and a lot of them bought back their animation desks. But if you want to check out more information, check out the documentary Dream On, Silly Dreamer. I'll put a link to it in the sidebar. And it's a documentary made by, he's a friend of mine who made the documentary, and it documents the whole thing that went down at Disney and firing the whole ink and paint animation department. It's a sad thing. I will admit, there are some great movies, you know. The Incredibles was a great Pixar movie. Shrek, at least the first one, was great. And I will admit, they are very entertaining movies. But I don't know, there's just something about that classic ink and paint look. And it partially is a nostalgic factor, I will admit. I mean, you know, you have the classic Mickey Mouse cartoons, and then you move into the Bugs Bunny 40s and 50s type deal. And then animation became more of a feature role. I mean, they're already starting in features with 1939's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But, I mean, that's when features started. But these shorts have sort of gone on the wayside because a lot of people think those are great kids' cartoons, and they were never designed to be kids' cartoons. Well, the Looney Tunes weren't. I don't know about the Disney ones. Those were more designed as like a full family entertainment because Walt Disney's a very family-friendly entertainment person. But the Looney Tunes cartoons, they're marketed towards kids, or at least they used to be. They're like politically incorrect now, but they were adult cartoons. They weren't what were considered at the time adult cartoons. They were made by adults for adults. The animators, the creators involved made them for themselves to be entertained by, and not for kids. It's funny too because kids now, when I grew up, like kids, it was what we watched as kids, you know, Looney Tunes and Ninja Turtles. But I mean, and then slowly the shorts, they like to call them the little 7-minute cartoons, sort of went away because you didn't have those in features. They just filled that time before the movie started that you were in the theater with just more trailers. And we've sort of lost that. I mean, a few movies here and there give you a short, but it's very rare. It's a very once in a blue moon type deal that we get an animation short right before the movie. And it's sad, really. I mean, it's a part of the entertainment industry that we're just never going to get back because animation, I feel, is more manufactured now, and especially with the computer thing, it's a lot easier to crank out a cartoon in a computer than it is ink and paint because it's a lot more time effective, which, you know, is great. You know, it's good to, you know, save time and money, but at the same time, I think you lose a little bit of the care that goes into the project because if it takes a longer time, more care is put involved because if it takes a longer time, you know, the creators involved really get passionate about the project. Meanwhile, with computer animation, I mean, some of the not greatest movies are coming out that are computer animated. Meet the Robinsons and Bolt, I know, are both not Pixar movies, and some people think they are, but they're not. They're made by Disney, but not by Pixar, and they're just not up to par with, I think, some of the other computer animated films. And all these Shrek sequels, really? Come on. I mean, stop while you're ahead, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Please, stop. Jeffrey Katzenberg is one of the heads of DreamWorks, who actually used to work for Disney and was then fired and went with Steven Spielberg and David Geffen to create DreamWorks Entertainment. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this Monday, the January 18th, 2010. Who's tomorrow? Denai is tomorrow. Let's hope we get some more talk on the animation debate, because I don't know. I can see how people do like computer animation. It has a prettier look, granted, but I don't know. I just feel you get more character when it's ink and paint. I'll just reiterate. I just feel computer animation has a more manufactured look and not a personal touch like ink and paint animation does. So that's what I gotta say. That's all today for the five awesome